Greetings and welcome to our completely gutted master bathroom. No, this is not Phoenix Counseling turning into a DIY channel, although that'd probably be pretty sweet. This is going to be me reporting from obviously a very raw and real place, right? We're literally in the middle of some construction and multiple projects being done on the house, trying to live through everything that's going on in the world and with our profession and just everything in general, right? Like all of you, I imagine. There's a couple things I wanted to address. And this video is mainly going to be for the fellas. So ladies, please don't tune me out. Listen in. There might be something that's cool for you too. But really, if you could also be thinking and pass this on to any of the guys in your life, it could be dad, grandpa, boyfriend, brother, uncle, whoever. That would be super awesome. I think a lot of times there's not a lot of material that gets put out from a male counselor about males and the adventure that we go through in therapy and really learning how to engage our emotions when the world tells us not to. We get injuries and the world tells us, big boys don't cry, wrap some tape around it, you'll be fine, I don't want to hear all that. And then we turn, give or take 30-ish, we get married or in some serious relationship, and now we're supposed to learn all these emotions and engage this emotional world, which I liken it to going from like a Crayola 24-pack to 64-pack of colors and how to do life and relationship. And, we're kind of set up for failure because of how society grades us out and prepares us. Now, again, I recognize there's a lot of parts in this. We do take responsibility for our journey as well. But I'm going to go through a couple quick hitters today. The first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do, and this may sound wild, given our culture and society now, but I'm going to ask you to slow down. See, our society and our culture moves so fast. I mean, you can't even probably remember the memes you laughed at this morning for breakfast, right? Because there's been so much flashing in your face, your mind, to-do lists. Kids are at soccer, I got to do this, that, whatever. I got laundry, and a whole master bathroom needs to get redone. But we need to slow down. It's not until we slow down that we're able to check in and go, wait a minute, man. I'm feeling, could be angry, could be frustrated, irritable, sad. You don't necessarily need to know why off the jump, but it's important to slow down and recognize that something is even happening. Because before you can make any adjustments, whether you're in therapy, group therapy, being mentored, or whatever, you've got to slow down and get attuned to your body, get attuned to what is actually happening. Second thing, fellas, one of the big things I've noticed, and hey, quite frankly, I'll put both hands up because I'm guilty of this too growing up, and I'm still working to get rid of it, but using busyness as a way to avoid things. And a lot of times we don't even know this is happening. It's just become such an ingrained habit since we were little. Maybe your family had a very high work ethic, or you weren't allowed to rest, or could be a million reasons. But it's important for you to check yourself and go, am I just making busyness to avoid? If I sit down on the couch, do I notice my foot tapping or like I have to keep getting up? Oh, I need to get a glass of water. Oh, I need to go move that thing over there. It needs to be shifted over. Yeah, if you sit on the couch, can you check yourself? And can you actually sit there, or your recliner, or whatever, and again, slow down? Is the busyness becoming part of your avoidance strategy? Another little thing I had to learn from my mentor a few years ago. And look, I was doing this myself, hence probably the conversation we had. A lot of times the brain is fascinating in what it'll do to help us avoid things. But there are times we develop these thinking patterns that we create work, when we create things to do. in order to avoid a lot of times the emotional stuff that's kind of creeping in the background, kind of like that shadow. And it's important to go, man, do I do that? When it's 7 o'clock and I'm over here going, yep, I think I'm going to mow the lawn for the second time in 2 days. I watched my neighbor do it last week. Mowed his lawn 2 days in a row. And I know he's struggling. He and I chat. But it's, are you creating busy work? You know, if you ever find yourself like cleaning off your toothpaste container or whatever, doing things, you go, wow, man, what am I avoiding? Ask yourself these things. Be willing to question what you're doing instead of just falling in line with it. We all learn stuff going through life, whether we were 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, whatever age, we're learning constantly. But we don't always have to keep all the things we've learned. Here's another big one from me. Ask for help. Please. One of the big reasons I'm honestly in this master bathroom right now is normally, to be frank, in the past, I would never have contracted a thing out for this, even though this was a whole insurance thing and whatever. I would never have done that. I was not trained to do that in my family of origin. Like, you handled it all yourself. I do have a background in construction, tile work, and all this, among other stuff, working on cars and everything else. But I had to come to this place of, man, I need to ask for help. I can't always do everything at all the times, right? I'm still trying to work my profession as a counselor, be a good husband, exist in the world we're in right now, on top of all these other projects that were going on, baseboards out in the other rooms and all this stuff. And it's like, man, so I had to ask for help and allow it to come, it is not my go-to instinct. And honestly, it causes me stress doing the new thing, which is okay. I'm learning to let go and let other people help. Just to give you an example, because a lot of times we get black and whiteness. Well, I got to ask for all the help, or I can ask for no help. I'm like, no, there are projects that I am doing, just me. I mean, I have some friends helping me. There are projects here that the contractors are doing that I have absolutely no part of. And there are actually projects that I'm working with the contractors to do part of the project. So there's some blending going on, which is great. The point is, it's not, all that burden is not on my shoulders. That message of, it's all up to me, I have to do it, I have all the responsibility, that's not true, man. You gotta be willing to challenge that. And so, guys, the big takeaway from today is slow down, check in, sit on the couch. Can you even sit on the couch without toe tapping or needing to get up to grab a snack or a water or check this or that? Can you actually feel what's going on or sense? Are you irritated? Are you sad? Are you embarrassed? Are you ashamed? Are you happy, joyful, delighted? I have no idea. And man, do not be afraid to ask for help. I know I used a crayon reference earlier, but I talk to people and I use a reference. A lot of times we come in, honestly, with a Crayola 8-pack, which is what we generally got in kindergarten to start. There was always that kid that showed up to class that was the overachiever who already had the 64-pack with the cool cerulean blue crayon. That was always my favorite. But if you will ask for help, there are people, whether it's myself and I'm sure plenty of other counselors, who will help you develop your emotional language and intuitiveness and a lot of times, emotional intelligence to where you can upgrade your abilities from that 8-pack to a 16, 24, 32, and then 64-pack to help you engage with your wife or your relationship and those closest to you. Just better. And so, man, don't be afraid to ask for help. This has been a very practical thing for me, but I've gone to therapy myself for multiple years, and I can attest it is super helpful, and I could not have done this or all this by myself. So big love from us. Again, we're not turning into a DIY channel, but slow down, check your busyness, ask for help. Peace.